Hey, it's Smitty here from Victorian Strength Club. Visit victorianstrengthclub.com.au for online programming and coaching for strongman and strong woman. This video is going to be on the recovery methods that I use to recover from strongman training. It would be the same recovery methods I'd use if I competed in something else, but I compete in strongman, therefore it's a strongman recovery video. That makes sense, doesn't it? The main thing I do is come here to P3 Sports Recovery. We try and come here once a week to do contrast therapy, which I'll explain a little bit later. I'm going to pass my phone to Alira and she's going to film me walking in. I'm going to put some cute music behind it and it's just going to look really cool. You'll see. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, does it look natural?
Yeah.
Does it look... Alright. Alira and I are actually fortunate enough to be sponsored by these guys. Beautiful picture of me at the Strong Melbourne Fitness Expo back in 2015 maybe. Need to update this. I'm actually 3 times Victoria's strongest man under 80 now. And then Alira up there. Focus on this. Look at those delts. Fuck. So I've been coming here about 2.5 years now. Let me get out of that freaking glare. Find it extremely beneficial. I know Brian Shaw uses the contrast therapy as well. I've seen a couple of videos of him that he's a fan of it. I haven't really looked into the science of it too much. I remember looking it up a while ago, like if it works, the hot cold therapy, and couldn't really find a lot to support it. And there was people saying that it doesn't work and it's all in your head, which might be true, but I always find that I leave here feeling really relaxed. Good time to switch off, often off my phone for the half an hour to 40 minutes that we're here. There's Lyra. And there was one time back in 2016 before Static Monsters that I hurt myself. I hurt my back on a Saturday. I came here for like 3 or 4 days in a row and was able to compete at Static Monsters the next weekend and got an all-time log press PB, Australian record, and won Static Monsters Australia-wide, or worldwide maybe. Ever since then, I've always enjoyed coming here. So I wasn't able to get much footage because there's people around and it just feels a bit disrespectful and like I should respect their privacy. Anyway, well worth the visit. So I think this might be kind of one of the only places like this in Victoria. We've been to the P3 up on the Gold Coast. We were there this year. Alira actually cut weight in their spa. So we normally come here probably on average once a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 0 times a week. Yeah, so maybe on average once a week. Strongman recovery methods part 2 is chiropractic care. Alira and I go to the chiro every week. I've been going for a little bit over 1 year now, probably close to 18 months, and Alira has been going her whole life, she reckons. She's been going for quite a long time. It's something that we really do make time for and really feel the benefits of. I've talked a little bit on social media in a few posts about my posture. I have a condition called Sherman's disease, so it's a spinal condition. So chiropractic care has really helped me tremendously to fix my posture and to be able to move the way I'm supposed to move and absorb weights correctly, such as squatting and deadlifting. Huge fan of it. At the moment we're going somewhere in Rosebud. Before that we were going somewhere in Brunswick. I trust both of these guys completely. I think it's like any profession where you need to find a good one. Dr. Lee at the moment is fantastic, getting great results, and the chiro that we saw before that was amazing too. I'm sure there's some bad ones out there and maybe you've had a bad experience. Almost everyone I've talked to about chiro rates it highly. It is still a subjective kind of field. For reasons that I'm not sure of, the Medical Board of Australia and things don't really condone it at the moment. I'm not sure exactly why. Anyway, that's something that we really make time for. We always pull up really well from it, and I just think for strongman, because we're not just squatting and deadlifting like they do in other sports, we're doing that stupid yoke, heavy farmers carry dragging you down, those stupid stones. Well, they're not stupid. Even a log, we're getting in awkward positions, and no matter what anyone says, we're doing things that the body probably wasn't designed to do. I know we call it functional fitness. Anytime that we're not using a machine, we call it functional training. But I would argue a lot of the stuff that we're doing in this sport and the weights that we're doing it and the amount of reps that we're doing It's not really what the spine was designed for. That fucking yoke, you're kidding. If you think yoke is functional, you're just off your head. Strongman recovery methods part 3. Just as I've finished my iced mocha, we're going to talk a little bit about nutrition. So nutrition is a massive part of my recovery. Trying to eat well, trying to eat as well as possible and get as much nutrients in. For me, I prioritize my calories and macros more so than my micros. That's just where I'm at the moment. That may change in the future when I can be bothered focusing on my micros, because that's bloody tough. But getting enough calories, how much are you eating? Do you know how many calories you need to stay the same body weight? Do you know how many calories to eat if you want to put on body weight, to put on muscle? Do you know if when you're cutting weight for a competition, how many calories you need to keep strength and muscle at its highest? You got to know all those things. You have to know all those things. So food's a massive one for me, making sure that I'm getting enough carbs and enough protein, and then I just get the rest from fat. Nutrition's a huge one. It's a big conversation to have. Guy or girl, heavyweight or lightweight, you need to be eating the right amount of food. So if you're 8 weeks out from a competition, you need to be eating enough to not be dropping weight yet. You know what I mean? I just think for the most part, if you're 3 to 5 kilos above your weight category, which is normal, you want to kind of hold that body weight during your heaviest weeks of training. So if you're training for 8 weeks, those first 4 to 5, when you're pushing harder and the volume's quite high, you need to be recovering from those training sessions, and you're going to do that easily through food. So making sure that you're not dropping body weight. If you're dropping body weight, there's no way that you're recovering from the workouts. That's just a clear signal that you're not giving your body enough nutrients to even stay the same, let alone grow. So you're basically shrinking, and you want to save that shrinking part for the last maybe 2 weeks, when volume decreases a little bit to allow for more recovery naturally, and then maybe you decrease your calories and decrease your carbs to aid a little bit of fat loss in the last few weeks. So if you're not tracking your calories and your macros yet, you're missing out. As a natural athlete, if you're not tracking your calories and macros at the moment, you're missing out on the major part of recovery, I believe. Something that's totally in your control that can make massive difference. If you try and put on weight, if you put on 5 kilos over the next 3 months, you will see faster progress than you've seen since you first started lifting, especially if you're a lightweight athlete. Food is just a massive part of the recovery process. And then part 4, the most boring part of the recovery methods, is stretching. This is something that if I've focused on in the past, I've really noticed a difference really quite fast. If you put in the effort, maybe 10 minutes before and after your training, like every day, you'll notice a difference. Whatever muscle group is tight or you're feeling slightly unflexible, surely it's inflexible, immobile. And then as soon as I stop working on stretching, it's something that goes away just as fast. So it's quite frustrating. But foam rolling, jury's still out on whether that's beneficial, but it's something that I do every day and I feel great for it. Even if the science isn't there, it's something that I enjoy. General stretching, most of the time I think the science says that it is better after training. I don't think there's ever been proven that stretching before training improves anything, but sometimes just rolling around a little bit makes me feel a bit better. So that's something that I'll always do. Also, if you're someone that sits a lot, maybe you're a driver or a desk worker, you're just gonna have to put that extra bit of effort in when you first get to the gym to maybe open up the hips and stretch the glutes and things like that. Same goes if you have the opposite type of lifestyle. Maybe you are on your feet all day carrying things. You might need to get to the gym and do a little bit of foam rolling and try and iron out some creases in your back and things like that. Person to person it's going to change, but I'm a big fan of stretching, and that is part 4 of my Strongman recovery methods, which is the end of the video. Any questions about those methods, or if you've got any other ideas that I might not have thought about, please send me a message. Good luck with all your recovery and training.
Bad. He's going to try the rest in one go, nearly. Valeria's onto number 2, nearly. She's still finishing off the remains of the first. Smitty's going for the last bite or 2. And it might nearly be done. He might have a comfortable